Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website yarnaddict.co.uk. Welcome to episode 74 of Confessions of a Yarn Addict podcast. In today's video I'm going to share what I'm knitting and what I'm planning to knit, and a few other things. I don't feel like I prepared very well for this episode. I feel a little bit scatty this morning. It's first thing in the morning. I don't normally film first thing because my best time for kind of getting work done is in the morning. So normally I try and focus on getting work done this morning, and I had actually planned this morning to prep for my next workshop. But I'm starting work a bit later than normal, and I thought let's film this and then I can have a longer period later to focus on this work that I need to get done, because I know I won't get it done in the space I have this morning anyway. So I'm fairly rigid with my time routine, I guess. I'm fairly rigid with my daily routine. I get up at the same time every day, except today. Last night I couldn't sleep very well, so I got up a bit earlier, quite a bit earlier than normal. Been awake since like 4:30. Got up about 5ish, so I did get some knitting done, which is good. And then I had breakfast and worked out, and my workout today was a lot harder than normal. I managed to really push myself a lot more today, so I got really hot and sweaty, and I'm still feeling a bit warm. Before I jumped in the shower, I started doing some organizing stuff in my bedroom, packing and things, and which I didn't really need to do, but I just got this urge to do it because I think that was part of what was keeping me awake last night. And then I had a shower, and that's why I'm late. Sun work. I'm also feeling a little bit hot. It takes me a while to kind of really cool down, even though I have a cool shower. It still takes me a while to cool down after working out. I do find, and I don't know whether this is a menopause thing, because I haven't had a lot of menopause symptoms really, but I do wonder whether that is one of the symptoms. But I do find that in the morning, mid-morning, I have I tend to overheat quite a lot. Not like a hot flash or flash, whatever it's called, but I just feel warmer in the morning. Then after lunch I'm a lot colder, and I thought it was because I'm more active in the morning because I work out and I walk the dog and things like that. But even when I'm not doing anything, I'm warmer in the morning, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, sorry for rambling on here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I checked last night, and last night I'm 41 subscribers away from 2,000. It's taken me longer to go from 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers than I thought it would. Things tend to speed up, I think, as you get more subscribers, and especially because I've been more regular with my videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you've just discovered my video, or you've been watching me regularly, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It just helps my video get seen by more people. Clicking the like button or the thumbs up button helps my video getting seen, and commenting also helps a lot by getting the video seen by more people. So I really appreciate it if you do that. It doesn't cost you anything. You can turn on notifications if you want to, but I don't mind if you don't do that. But if you could subscribe, I really appreciate it. I'm going to, when I get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. I've decided what's going to be in the giveaway app, but it will be yarn and maybe some other goodies, with an option for people who don't live in the UK. If you win and you're not in the UK, for an option to do one of my online courses for free because of customs charges and that kind of thing. But it's going to be a worldwide giveaway. So talking about giveaways, the last giveaway was 2 podcast episodes ago, and that was for a copy of the knitting magazine, the current issue. I think the next issue is out next week, I think. This is issue 242, and I of course have a design in this magazine. That's my design there. There's loads of other fabulous designs. I talked about this more. I did a separate video on this, and I think I've talked about it previous podcast episode as well, but I can't remember. But I did a separate video on this. I'll link that below. So I've done a giveaway, and I keep forgetting to actually go and choose the winner. So I will do that before I edit this video, and I'll put the winner's name on screen and below in the description box, and I'll also reply to that winner's comment. So if that's you, please email me I'll put my email address below as well, or you can find it on my website, and I just need your address, and then I will send you a copy of this. So I meant yesterday, I was thinking I must really do that before I record, and then I forgot. So I will make sure I do it when I edit and put it on screen. Thing I want to mention, because I've been tidying up a bit again this week, is I still do have some stuff in my like a de-stash box. At the time this video is live, my website is actually going to be closed for about a week, but when it reopens, make sure you sign up to my newsletter, and then you'll be the first to know when it reopens. But there's some fabric. This is quite a long piece of fabric. It's cotton. There is some yarn. This is gorgeous beaded yarn with no labels. I have no idea where it's from. I've had it for like ever. There's some other, that's a fat quarter, I guess, probably. The listings give you the measurements because I did measure everything. Some hand-dyed yarn, some Manisol Uruguay linen blend yarn, some more fabric, and some 3 of those. That's Lang Merino 200. It's left, and some cotton from Cascade. So there are a few things in the de-stash section. It's very cheap, so if you fancy having getting some bargains, do go and check that out when the website reopens. Or if you're watching this later, like a long time later, do go and check out my website, because I do de-stash regularly just to keep my room tidy. Now I've managed to get it reasonably tidy. I'm trying to keep it that way. So let's talk about what I've been knitting. So the first project I've been spending most of my time on is my sweater. This is a new sweater design that I'm going to self-publish. The yarn is Knitting for Olive silk. It's 100% Barrette silk, which is like, what I understand, because I googled it, it's like a matte silk, and it's not a silky feeling or a smooth or as soft as like regular silk. I read that it's kind of like the waste from other silk spinning, but I really like it. It looks a bit more kind of rustic, and I'm really happy with it. I talk a lot more about this in the last podcast, which was episode 73. Yeah, 73, where I did a long weekend vlog, and I did work a lot on this, and I showed how I decided, I tried it on to decide whether it was long enough, and sleeves and things like that. So I finished the first sleeve, and I haven't actually cast off. I've done the edging. I've done 3 rounds of garter stitch. I may do more. I put on this stitch holder cord thing. I didn't want to break the yarn, but I had to. There was just no other way around it. But I've left colour long tail, so if I decide to cast off, I can use this tail to cast off. If I decide to make it longer, I will have to join in more yarn. But what I wanted to do was do both sleeves till the same length, and then probably block it before I cast off the sleeves, just to, because I can't remember, I did block it when I got to the underarms just to see if it was wide enough, just to check like the fit and the length and things, and I can't remember how much, if any, it stretched. It's stocking stitch, so it shouldn't stretch too much, But I can't remember if it did, because some things do kind of relax a bit when you block it. I don't think it did, but I decided I might as well block it before I cast off the sleeves. Or maybe I'll just cast off the sleeves. I don't know yet. But what's happened is, so before I started the first sleeve, I weighed my yarn. I had one complete ball and 20 grams left of another ball. So I knitted a sleeve. I wanted long sleeves on this jumper because I think that makes it just easier to use all year round. And I knitted the sleeve, then I weighed the leftover yarn, and I had, I think, 27 grams left. So I was like, oh, that means I've used 43 grams. Is that right? Gosh, I should be able to do that, shouldn't I? Right, 50 minus 27 plus, yeah, 43 grams. It's early in the morning. 43 grams on the first sleeve, and I would not have enough to do the second sleeve. So I thought I need to decide whether I'm going to just do 3/4 length sleeves, which would be fine. I would then have enough to finish the sleeve, or shall I order another ball? So I quickly went online to Beautiful Knitters. I got 2 balls of this in Norway when I went in February, and because I didn't know what I was going to knit with it, but I just liked the colour and I liked the yarn. I wanted to try it, and then I got 4 balls from Beautiful Knitters in London, which I ordered in March sometime. So I've used 6 balls so far, and according to my spreadsheet, when I put in all my measurements and things, that should be enough. I think I actually made it slightly longer than I originally planned, and I only have 20 rounds left, so I don't have that much left to knit, which is really annoying. So I knitted as much as I could last night, and then that's how much I got left. So the yarn was, I got a shipping notification yesterday, so I'm hoping it might come today, probably come tomorrow. So I'm hoping to finish this. We are about to go on holidays. I wanted to try and finish this, block it, and actually write the pattern before we go away. But as I haven't even written the pattern completely in my size at all, I've just got some really sketchy notes and a spreadsheet, and some notes on my phone, and I don't think I'm going to get that done before we go away. I really wanted to, so I could send it off to my take it while I was away, but I don't think that's going to happen. Might do if I can finish it tomorrow. We'll see. So yeah, that's just waiting to get finished. I am working a lot on a magazine submission at the moment, which I need to do. So I think even if the yarn does come today, I think I'll probably spend all my knitting time today working on this design submission, because I really need to get it finished by tomorrow at the latest, so I can put it all together, and that takes quite a long time as well. It's for 2 magazines, and it's for like 6 issues for each magazine, I think, so it is a bit of a time-consuming thing to do. The other project I've been working on, which I will take on holiday with me, more about holiday knitting in a minute, is my socks. I think I shared in the last episode that I've finished the first sock. So this is the Yarn Badger. Let me find the label. It is Surf's Up Superwash Merino Nylon. Really nice yarn, bright and colourful, really enjoying it. I'm doing like a alternating rib. So I'm doing 5 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then I switched the pole and knit stitches. And I'm knitting toe up with an afterthought heel, and from my Aventuras pattern. So that's what I'm doing. I was hoping to finish this before I go on holiday, but I haven't done much knitting on this. I did a little bit last weekend when I filmed the weekend vlog, and I did a little bit. I didn't do much last weekend, just a few rounds, and I did a little bit, probably like from where that blue bit, where that green colour, yellowy green colour, lime green colour comes in. That's probably what I did last night, because I'd done all the stuff I could do on my sweater, and I just didn't want to start knitting swatches last night, so I did that. I put this marker in, which is from Corner of Craft, which I shared in the last episode, just to mark where I start from after this podcast. So what I've decided to do is to take this with me on holiday, because I've got a whole sock left in it. I'm going to take this. Now we are going to Spain. It's going to be hot. I think temperatures where we're going have been like mid to high 20s lately. Cooler at night though, but I do get, my feet get really cold. So I am taking a pair of socks, and I'm also going to take this off the sock blocker and take this as well. So I'm going to take that to finish and then take this one in my luggage so that when I finished it I can actually wear it. Then I'm taking another pair as well to wear, because I do need to wear socks every night or my feet get really cold. And then I need to decide another pair of socks to take with me. We're traveling with hand luggage only, and when we get to Alicante, we're planning to get the bus from the airport into the city centre and then probably walk 15 minutes from the bus stop to the flat. We can get another bus that gets a bit closer, but it means changing buses and things. So I think we'll probably take the easiest option. So I'm taking a small carry-on suitcase and a backpack and a small crossbody bag. So I can't take a lot of stuff with me. So, but I have decided, I thought, do I start a new pair of socks and just take that? If we go to the beach a lot and I knit on the beach, I can finish a pair of socks quite quickly. So I thought, if I take the sock I'm working on, because I got most of that sock left to do, if I take that and another skein, so I can do another pair of socks, that should be plenty for like out and about and beach knitting. We're also planning to go a couple of places on the train, maybe, because we're not going to hire a car. So we plan to go a couple of places on the train. So we might go to Murcia on the train. Well, I definitely want to go to Murcia on the train. The only way I would not go to Murcia is if it's really, really hot. If we end up with like 30 plus, then probably not, because it'll be too hot. But I do want to go to Murcia because it's one of my favourite places to go. My parents used to own a flat an hour south of Alicante, and they sold it last autumn, which I'm still a bit upset about. And we used to go to Murcia every single time we went for the last 20 years. And we can get the train there from Alicante, so that's what we're planning to do. So I do need a pair of socks, and we're also thinking about going on the train to Valencia one day. A little bit unsure about that. We'll have to see how hot it is, because exploring a city in the heat of the midday is not fun. And there's no point going all the way to Valencia just to go on the beach. We could do that in Alicante. So, and I also want to see how much the train costs and things like that. So we haven't quite decided about that yet. And then we're planning, there's a tram, like a light railway that goes from it goes around Alicante, but it also goes from Alicante up the coast towards Benidorm. And I did say that maybe we should go to Benidorm. We have been to Benidorm twice, I think, but only for like a few minutes each time. We've changed the train there a couple of times. We've been down by the beach a couple of times, but only for like half an hour. I think the first time we got out of the car, looked around, it was so hot, so we got back in again and drove off. Last time we went there, we got in on the train, then we walked down to the beachfront, had a drink, walked back up again, and got on the next train. So I do feel like maybe we want to explore that, but I'm not 100% sure. There are some other places along the coast that we want to go to, so I do think that there will be some train rides. I think I need another pair of socks. So, but I can't choose what to knit. So yesterday I pulled out a few options. So let's go through what my options are for these socks. Oh, just dropped one. So, okay, so option 1. Lottie knits. This has been in my stash for a while, and it's a really pretty colour. I've done a pair of Lottie knit socks in the same yarn in like a dark purple. This only has 365 meters per 100 gram because it's a high twist sock yarn. It's Little Bird sock. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Not 100%. I love the colourway, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to knit it at the moment. Then we have Orchidean Luxury yarn, also been in my stash for a while. I have 2 of this one, which is what makes me think I'm not sure I don't want to knit socks with it, but I'm also not sure what else to knit with it. I've already knit the socks in this in the grey version. It's a grey with all these rainbow splashes. It's platinum sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters per 100 gram, and the colour is Let There Be More Purple Light. I was asked to contribute to a book. I can't remember the name. I'll pop it on screen, by David and Charles, and they wanted beaded socks. So they're beaded lacy socks. You could obviously do them without beads. They're only available from this book, which I'll put the link below. And that's the original Let There Be Light. and I did some plain socks in that as well. And so because I like that, when Abby brought out Let There Be Purple Light, Let There Be More Purple Light, I got that, and I got 2 because I thought maybe I don't want to do socks with it, but I don't know what else to do with it, so I might do that. I also really like this colorway, which I got recently in London from Beautiful Knitters. It's German, so apologies if I pronounce this incorrectly. Schwedendot yarns. May not, it's a long time since I've done German, so I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Really like those. Grey with like splashes of colour, like speckles. I was also thinking, because I've done a lot of socks myself lately, maybe I should knit a pair of socks for Simon, and he might like that colourway, although it might not be bright enough for him. And then this has been in my stash for a while. This is Bellica yarns, and it is 70% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 20% yak. And what makes me slightly hesitant about this is that the last time I knitted socks with yak in it, I managed to felt them. And I also have another yarn which I think is yak, which is like pink. I was thinking maybe I'll use it for a shawl. So I don't know about that one, but I do kind of fancy knitting another pair of yak socks and not felting them, but maybe not. I'm not sure yet. And then I thought, if I'm going to knit socks for Simon, because he likes bright socks, I've got this yarn, which is American dyer. I'm not sure if she's American or Canadian. I think she's American. Called Mud Punch. I haven't ordered from her for a long time because getting it shipped from the States is just so expensive now. She was like one of the first self-striping indie dyers that I kind of discovered. This is called Curio Glue 1. Base, testing base, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 400 yards per 100 gram. So that's the high twist as well. I'm kind of assuming it's the same. No, I was thinking it's the same base as that, but it's not. But that's quite bright, so I might do that. I need to ask Simon if he likes this. So I need to decide whether I'm going to knit Simon socks or me socks, because that'll impact which colour I decide to use. So one of those will be coming on holiday with me, and I'll tell you in the next episode which one I chose. And then I need like a main project to take with me. So last year when I did YarnAddict last September, I noticed when I display stuff at shows, wherever samples I displayed, those patterns and that yarn sell out much quicker or sell much quicker. And I've noticed if I put a lacy poncho on my dress forms, they sell out very quickly, because a lot of people are like, oh, I fancy doing something lacy, but I already have too many shawls, or I don't really know what to do with shawls, I don't fancy knitting shawls. But poncho, that might be okay. But all the ponchos I've got that are kind of top down, knitted in the round, lace with beads, are in lace weight yarns. So last year after YarnAddict, because there were some people who said, yeah, I really fancy that, but I don't want to do the yarns too fine, I don't want to do it. And the ones I've got have been done in the Shopple yarns, either lace flower or lace ball, which are lace weight yarns. And some people are frightened because the yarn's very thin. So I thought, last year at YarnAddict, I was thinking I must do a 4-ply version, a new design. I don't want to do a 4-ply version of an existing pattern, I want to do a new design. And then I kind of forgot about it, because let's face it, the last year I've been very much into brioche knitting. And so Wonderwool last month, same thing happened. One of the my top down ponchos, I brought the pattern and I had loads of the yarn, but I forgot to bring the sample. That's my Lavinia poncho, which I was so annoyed about, because the poncho we put on display was my peafowl feathers poncho, and that sold out on the Saturday. So I would have put the Lavinia one on the Sunday, and that probably would have sold out. So one, I need to print more patterns, and two, I should have got way more lace flowery yarn, and I need more top down ponchos, lacy ponchos. So I've decided, I don't know if it's what I really wanted to knit at the moment. I'd actually planned to knit a brioche shawl, the one I started in Norway in February. I plan to restart that in a different yarn, but I've decided that I really need this top down lacy poncho in 4-ply yarn, so that's what we're doing. So I've chosen this colorway because I really like it, and ever since I first got it, I think it was new last year, I decided I want to do something in it. I kind of fancied doing the Sabre flower, which the Sabre flower is like a 150 gram version of this. It's exactly the same yarn, but it's 150 grams instead of 100 grams, so it's got more meters, and the color repeats are a bit longer. But this comes in a lot more colorways, and there are more options regarding sizes. I'm not sure whether Sabre flower, because it only has 600 meters, whether one will be enough to knit a poncho that's long enough for me. It probably would be long enough for like a smaller size, but for a shorter person, but I don't know if it'd be long enough for me. And two would make it quite expensive, because they're £20.50 each, whereas these are £13.50 each. And two Sabre flower would be 1200 meters, two of these would be 800 meters. So I think two of these will be enough. So that's my plan. So I'm going to take these on holiday. I'm going to take both in the hope that I will finish it. Thinking maybe I should just take one, but I'm going to take both in the hope that I might actually finish it. And then I want to do beads. So I had a look through my beads last night. Now, I don't like doing beads that match the yarn too much, because they're less visible. I kind of don't want to do too many beads, but beads really catches people's eyes at shows, and this I'm designing primarily to have something to display at the next show, which should be YarnAddict in September. So I got these beads out, which is one of my favorite colors, and it matches that purple perfectly. I think these beads will look really good on the pink bit. I'm not sure about on the purple bit. So then I got pink out, which matches the pink perfectly. So I think that will look good on the purple bits, but I'm not sure on the pink bits, but I think it'll blend in a bit more. And then I got this one out, which is also really pretty, which I think goes with both. So I haven't decided whether I do that colorway, or whether I do one of these two, or whether I do both of these two and I alternate it. And when I get purple bits of yarn, I put the pink beads on, and when I get pink yarn, I put the purple beads on. So I don't know yet. I might just take all three with me. I might alternate between all three colors. I don't really know yet. Having said that, I want to try and just use one bag of beads. So it may end up being that one. I will take 2 bags of beads with me, whichever colour I choose, because I have been on holiday before on a project that I could have finished and I ran out of beads. Plus, I don't know of any yarn shops in Alicante, so if I run out of knitting, I will have nothing to knit for the rest of my holiday, and that would be a disaster. I have seen one yarn shop in Murcia, but it's tiny and it looks a bit like mostly kind of like cheap baby yarn, and not the kind of yarn I would really want to buy. There is a yarn shop, Norwegian run one, in Torrevieja, south of Alicante, which is near where my parents had their flat, and I've been there once because in the summer their opening hours are very limited. But we don't have a car, so getting there would be difficult. So if you happen to know of a yarn shop in Alicante, or even in somewhere like Benidorm or Murcia, let me know. And in Valencia city centre, in case we go to Valencia, let me know. So that's my knitting plans. I'm not going to take anything else because I think that will be enough. I'm also trying to decide what project bag to take with me. So I was thinking that one doesn't match the project though. I do like to choose a project bag that matches, but I haven't used that for a long time. I'm also thinking about that one because it's a bit bigger, and if I go out to sit on the balcony to knit or something, I can pop like my phone in here, my headphones and other things in there, and it just makes it easier to carry. And also if I fancy changing up my handbag for a night out or for a day out, I can take my knitting out and use this as a handbag. I've done that before. It is actually a toiletry bag from a brand called Bimba y Lola, which is a Spanish brand, I think. Although they do have a shop in London, because I went to their shop. It's right next to Harrods. I went to their shop in London when I went to London last month. So it's got like a pocket inside. It is a toiletry bag, but I used it mostly as a project bag, and I have used it as a handbag when I've been in Spain before, and the colour does match the trainers I'm going to wear. So these yarns can go in here. I've got needles ready downstairs. I haven't written the pattern yet, so I need to, if not write the whole pattern, at least decide on what lace patterns I'm going to use. So I might have a look at doing that later today. I've got an appointment this afternoon, which is going to take most of the afternoon, so I'm doing a very short day today. But I will be working a bit over the weekend to catch up. I feel like I'm rambling, probably because I didn't plan this that well. Okay, so let's see what else I want to talk about. So this week on YouTube, I'm just checking my notebook, on Tuesday there was a video about tools and all my knitting tools and notions and needles and how I store them, what I use, how I store them, things like that. I've done videos before on knitting needles, which ones I like, and review of various brands and that kind of thing. And I've also done a video a while ago on all my knitting notions. But this video I did put everything together, and I showed you how I stored my knitting needles, what I use, all my notions, how I store them, what I use, all that kind of stuff. So that video was live on last Tuesday. There will be probably one video next week. And it might be, I also did a video where I picked out my top 5 knitting tools and notions. So if I had to just choose 5 things from my kit of knitting tools and notions, not including needles, I can't remember what I chose now, but I had to like sit down and pull out 5 things, and they would be the only things I could keep. So that video will probably be out next Thursday. I'm also hoping to do a bit of filming while we're away and do a bit of vlogging from my trip. So there might be an extra bonus vlog out. I'm not quite sure. We'll see how it goes. I'm not taking my laptop with me on this holiday because I'm planning to have a holiday and not work. And my laptop is not that big or that heavy, but it takes up enough space in my suitcase and space at the premium when I travel with hand luggage only. And if I take my laptop, I need the lead. I need my laptop riser thing, which just falls flat and doesn't take up much space. And I also need my keyboard and my mouse. So we end up with quite a lot. Okay, the sweater is finished. And I've just laid it out on the table. I'm going to go and soak it in a minute. But I've just laid it out. Now can you see how this bit is a lot smoother than this bit? And that is because when I got to here, I put on the stitch holder and then I blocked it just to check the length and try it on. So that's why this section, I mean, it's got crease because I put it in and out of my project bag, but this section is a lot smoother than that section. So the yarn arrived to finish my sweater. I only had like 20 rounds left to do. I used like less than 5 grams of yarn, and the sleeves actually did block out a tiny bit longer than I expected, but having said that, now I put it on, they actually look okay. So let me see if I can show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's the hem, which I'm really happy with it with. It's got dropped shoulders. Happy with the sleeves. Maybe could have done with the armhole depth being a little bit longer. I'm going to include notes in the pattern for how to adjust that. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I'm pleased that it is finished. Okay, I got interrupted by a parcel collection and I realised it is time to walk the dog. So I think I'm going to stop talking because I feel like I've been rambling a bit today. But yeah, hopefully when we get back from Spain there will be a bit of vlog content from Spain. So I've done a couple of vlogs lately. I did a spend a day with me vlog last month, I think it was, and the last vlog last weekend was like last week was like a long weekend vlog, so do go and check that out. Let me know if you like vlog style videos. Let me know what you'd like to see, because I'm always looking for more content. I have recorded some videos for like the next couple of months that I will feed in among the podcast episodes, just because we're away a lot this month, and then we got family coming, 2 lots of families coming to visit. My parents are coming to stay with us, and then another family member is coming to stay with my father-in-law. So next couple of months are going to be quite busy with a lot of non-work stuff, so I wanted to record some videos just to get ahead of it, so I don't have to worry about it so much. So that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and help me get to 2,000 subscribers. If you like this video and you know other people who you think might like it, please share it. If you want to share it on your socials, if you have a Facebook group you can share it in, if you've got social media accounts that knitters follow, you want to share it, I would really appreciate it. If you've heard a bit of noise outside, I've opened the window when I started filming because I was still a bit hot from my workout. Even though I've showered and washed my hair and everything, I was still a bit hot. So open the window, see if you can hear some birds tweeting, singing and things like that. It's been fairly quiet outside except now because the bin lorry has just turned up. So if you can hear like beeping, lorry beeping sounds, that's the bin lorry that's just turned up. So I'm going to go and walk the dog and get on with the rest of my day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.